We live in 88 square feet together with our cat in a basement of a multifamily house. So that's 8 feet across on the back, 11 feet on the side, and about 7.5 feet high. I would consider both of us minimalists, and I would say we've been minimalists for roughly 9 to 10 years now. And I think as we've grown up, our definition for minimalism has changed. When we first moved out at 17 and 18, minimalism was survival for us. And I think about last year is when we started to say, okay, there's also a necessity for fun.
I think that accumulation is inevitable when you're practicing minimalism. I mean, you just acquire things. People give you gifts or you see something that you like, but this space is so limiting, you know, square footage wise, that we have to practice decluttering. And I think that that's just going to keep on happening. I think it comes with the territory.
Right. We pay $300 US, and that includes our utilities, our rent, a parking space, laundry services, and the bathrooms that are out in the public hallway.
It also includes internet. We have access to the backyard, and we could also compost in the backyard. As you enter our apartment from the very public hallway that all the other tenants have access to, I guess the first thing you're going to see is actually this wall, because it is the one that has the most visual interest. So the very first thing that you're going to see is at the very top we have books from the left to the right. And then on the second shelf we have just like water and kitchen utensils with a whole bunch of food storage from right to left. Now the next section that you're going to see is actually this desk space, which is 4 feet by 2 feet deep, and we built this ourselves for about 45 USD. So we have all of our main office supplies in this bag with the iPad and journal that Dimitri needs, and then also we have the laptop. We share one laptop currently, but we really desperately need two. We found this laminate for free. Mostly everything is like free, honestly, or very, very cheap and used. I have these two chairs, which it's a very tight fit. And we have these two ottomans with a cat bed for Cass. She likes to hang out up here or up here. She also has this backpack that configures into many different shapes, and she also likes to lay in here. In the first ottoman, there's a lot of stuff that fits in here. This is filled with board games and puzzles. And the second ottoman is a little bit more of a hodgepodge of things. So right here we like to eat, collaborate together, watch TV, and also play a lot of games. And when you come over, there's also 4 feet by 2 feet of a counter space and sort of a kitchen. We have all of our spices right here and our medicine at the end. We have our food processor, Instant Pot, and a kind of like 1 burner skillet. We also have our Berkey for filtering the water. And right here we have our oven, which we keep a bunch of pans in. Gotta do that. We have a rolling pin and our cutting board. Our cat litter is down here, which everyone has a problem with, but we don't because there's nowhere else to put it. And then we have a mini fridge, which in our freezer we have food, but we also compost. We freeze all of our compost and then throw it in the backyard. And then we have our refrigerator, which we do shopping about every 5 days, and we basically totally eat from home, like almost all of our meals. We take our cat outside, but on top of that we needed to find a way to make a cat super highway for her so that she could get her exercise in. So we made this out of like scrap wood. It has a cat tree going up with like sisal ropes. She has a staircase that leads to a hammock, and then at the very top she can end in a basket inside of a box. And then we also have our Japanese roll-out futon on this wall. Pretty much throughout the day it is standing so that it's completely up out of the way, and it also folds into like a couch position so we could actually play board games over here whenever we want. So on this wall I put some removable wallpaper just to like liven up the space, make it prettier, because I was kind of getting sad in here when it was just all pine and white. I tapped into the mirror. The mirror is just like important. It makes the space look bigger, brighter, and it also adds visual interest, and it also is functional. And when you open up this closet, I have all my copper wire earrings here that I bent, and also this is the inside of the closet. Right here, this is all of our bedding that we use on a nightly basis, and under that I have all of my sewing equipment. I have a juicer and a hot popcorn popper, the printer, and all of our documents, and then our tech bag. Under that we have basically our plates and extra spices and just like all the food that we need like pretty much on a daily basis. Under that we have like Cass's food, dog puzzles, and just more food. Under that we have tools and a laundry bag that I made myself. I also have my meditation cushion and mat, my yoga wheel, and my yoga mat. And that pretty much sums up everything. That's our entire apartment all in one. So after you exit our apartment, you're in the very public accessible hallway that all 6 tenants have access to. This right here is our armoire. At the very top, we just have a whole bunch of bubble mailers that we're keeping. And then we have Dimitri's capsule wardrobe for kind of like fall, winter, spring. And then we have my capsule wardrobe for fall, winter, and spring. Then on the closet door, we have all of our shoes. Like this is our entire collection of shoes for the entire year. Okay, so now we're gonna step into bathroom number 1, which is really, it has the toilet and the sink in it. So this bathroom is very tight. I could fit in here going forward, but we mostly kind of waddle in here. So we have to take advantage of every nook and cranny in our space. Directly under the medicine cabinet, we have our toothpaste, our oral kit, and floss, tongue scraper, toothbrushes, and this is our dish brush and Cass's brush. Then I have some bronzers in here that I use for our hands and also cleaning, and also dish soap, so it's multi-purpose. We're gonna go into bathroom 2, which is even smaller, if you can believe it. So this is our shower. It's really small and it's super cold because it's right next to the garage. It is freezing in here, there's no heat. And right behind the door, we have 2 towels, one for Dimitri, one for me, and that's that bathroom. So I am the person who keeps track of the budget, and this hands down is the most affordable place we've ever lived in. It's incredible. We've been able to save a lot of money so that we can compete in this housing market, which is highly competitive.
It's rough.
And I was able to forgo working to focus on my mental health. I had homebound agoraphobia, so I like never left the house. I had a lot of anxiety about leaving my safe space, and I'm not homebound agoraphobic anymore. I'm just agoraphobic.
I'm very thankful for this place, and then I'm also grateful that I don't have to overwork myself because our overhead isn't so far above ourselves, right?
The most challenging thing about living in this particular micro studio is that we share walls and ceilings with other neighbors, and also there's just like this major lack of privacy to that. Not having a real sink in our kitchen is quite challenging. What we do is right after we're done eating, we'll go bring them one by one to the sink to go wash them.
My con is I'm a pretty big guy, right? And this space isn't the biggest either, so we're constantly on top of each other.
Or running into each other.
Running into each other, bumping into each other, even to get up to like go to the bathroom or something. We're just running into each other. But the pro, which kind of fits with my con, is that we are in a space with each other all the time. I think we've grown the most together in these past 2 years. There's a lot of negotiation. There's a lot of compromise. I think this has been great for our relationship. My main source of income is being the marketing and communications director at a New Jersey-based press. I'm also an artist in residence with the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. But then I also have my Dimitri Reyes Poet YouTube channel, and an offset of that, I host workshops, I host consultations through Patreon. I also have shadow work for poets, so as a writer, I do publish books. And then I also have Every 1st and 15th, which is my book of poems.
What I do, I've had a YouTube channel for years. I've documented like every single house we've ever lived in. I do budget reports, minimalism, capsule wardrobes, veganism. I also published a cookbook, the Puerto Rican Vegan Cookbook, because Dimitri and I are both Puerto Rican. And then what I would like to do is release my second cookbook, which is going to be all about one-pot meals, because we've been eating one-pot meals for over 3 years straight. Our next goal was to have our first home, our first independent home, no shared walls. We could invite a second fur baby into our lives, foster our first set of kittens, and also be able to grow our own veggies. That's, I think, one of the most exciting things about home ownership for me.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm looking forward to. But if we fail, because we've been in this market for so long at this point, we actually think that we're gonna stay here, right here in this micro studio.
Subscribe to Exploring Alternatives and check out our playlists for more stories like this. You can also follow Jacinia on YouTube at Minimalist Vegan Lifestyle, and you can follow Dimitri on YouTube at Dimitri Reyes Poet. Thanks for watching.